This summer, we learned a number of things. The Sewerage and Water Board is in a bit of turmoil. The public was lied to about pump functionality. What is your specific timeline for fixing this critical issue in the city, and how will you pay for it? This is a 2-minute response, starting with Ms. Cantrell.
Fixing the problem, it really does start now. There is an assessment that we know that should be completed by the end of October, and I believe that all eyes, even more, should ensure that that assessment really does speak to the existing conditions and that we are very transparent with the public about what those existing conditions are. That's the only way that we're not only going to build trust, but come up with real solutions to fix those problems. Currently, we have a Chief Operating Officer job opening, Chief Financial Officer job opening, Project Manager opening, and with the Interim Director leaving in 2 weeks. So this is an issue that has to be addressed right now. In addition to, in terms of how to pay for the fix, the infrastructure that's needed, we're going to have to go to the state legislature to ensure that the city of New Orleans receives more than 1.5% of the taxes generated off the backs of our people here in hospitality. That's one way, but leading an effort that is unified, that has not happened in a long time. I will also ensure that everyone has to put some skin in the game here. Right now, only property owners are paying into taxes as it relates to sewer, water, and even drainage. So we'll have to level the playing field there. In addition to that, we have more people claiming homestead exemptions that are illegal than you can ever imagine. That has to be cleaned up. So we're going to make sure that, again, everyone's putting some skin in the game. We move forward with getting additional resources from the state. We create a maintenance fund locally so that the state knows that this isn't going into the general fund so New Orleans can do whatever it wants to do, but really go towards infrastructure improvements. And in addition to that, ensuring that we have qualified leadership in place to implement the solutions that we know have to get done.
Ms. Cantrell, thank you. Ms. Charbonnet.
After August the 5th, I think most of you lost faith in your government. There was a lack of accountability and transparency. So that is one of the first things we have to reestablish. The entire Sewerage and Water Board has to be revamped, starting with the head of the Sewerage and Water Board. We have got to make sure that the person that is at the helm is a licensed professional engineer, someone who understands water management, drainage, etc. It is highly important that that person speaks the language so that no one can pull the wool over their eyes. Now, what we saw on August 5th was an abject failure of a very routine process, and it should not have happened. But again, that goes back to accountability. The first thing we need to do is fill the 300 vacant jobs that are waiting to be filled at Sewerage and Water Board. 300 jobs. We talk about jobs and economic development. We've got jobs waiting for people to fill them right now. And if not, Sewerage and Water Board should be training people to fill these positions. But listen, we're going to have to look at new revenue streams. The last thing I'm going to ask you, the taxpayers, to do is pay more money. I've heard enough complaints about people's Sewerage and Water Board bills right now. There's a question about whether it should be brought in under the city agency, as a city agency, and no longer remain a state board. I am not inclined to take that route right now. While it is a state board, it has bonding capacity, and presently there are bonds that are out now that are being paid on, being held by Wall Street. We can't just cut it right now because we're going to have some people to answer to, but we cannot afford to lose our bonding capacity because at some point we may need to rely on that in order to produce some revenue to run it. Finally, I do not believe that it should be privatized. At this point, I believe it's a job that the city can manage. It just needs to be managed well. Again, it goes back to accountability. I don't understand how the mayor did not know that these pumps were not working. I just don't understand it. So accountability is key.
Ms. Charbonnet, thank you. Mr. Henry.
Well, Scott, I've run water systems all over the country today, so I have the benefit of knowing what works and what doesn't work. And today, the Sewerage and Water Board is a mess. But let's talk specifics of how do you fix the mess, not just political ease, what you've heard. There are a number of things, top to bottom, that need to be done. First, we need to restructure the board and put qualified individuals on the board that understand water management. Today, there's not one person on the Sewerage and Water Board that's ever had 1 day of experience working in a water system. Two, We need a general manager that obviously has competence, a general manager that understands and has a significant amount of experience. I've hired general managers for water systems all over this country today, and I'll do it here for New Orleans. 3, the city council today needs to act in its capacity. Ms. Cantrell is a council member. They've totally slept at the wheel on Sewage and Water Board today, right? Why? Because they are the regulator of all utilities of the city of New Orleans, and they did nothing about what is going on today in the city of New Orleans at the Sewage and Water Board. That has to be structured. They have to act as a regulator. Now, let's talk some technical elements of it too. 25 cycle power. We're still on 25 cycle power, and 25 cycle power went out in 1932. Everybody else in America today uses 60 cycle power. Okay? We are still using SneakerNet, reading meters using sneakers as opposed to a technology today. That's a 25-year-old automated metering technology that exists today that we're not using. Most progressive cities today have main replacement strategies that say every 50 years you replace your mains. We've got 140-year-old wooden pipes still in the ground today in the city of New Orleans. We've got major issues associated with it. Now, we also got a problem with aging barrels all over the place. We got these orange barrels all over the city today. My mom got one in the middle of her street, almost got a tree growing through it today. Okay, it's just that bad. We need a 21-day policy. You fix what it is that you put the barrel out and you move on with it. We got to clean catch basins. It ain't that hard to do. Look, you can offer people $150 a catch basin and they can get in there with a shovel and clean them. This is not rocket science we're talking about here. These are fundamental issues that have to be resolved.
Mr. Henry, thank you. Mr. McNaris.
Well, first of all, my water wizard all the way to the left, who indicates that he has the most experience because he was the head of the United Water. Well, the newspaper is indicating that when he was head of United Water, that's when it had most customer complaints, the most broken pipes, and also excessive chlorine in the water. So if we got that kind of experience, we can do without it. Now, you asked about the August 5th flooding. Now, what about yesterday? We don't have to go to August 5th. Yesterday was inexcusable. You know, we had flooding in the city just yesterday from what? Small rainfall. That's just totally intolerable. We cannot have that. Now, what would the McNaris administration do? First of all, we have to bring in unbiased eyes. We have to have the National Regulatory Research Institute or the American Water Works Association. They have to come into the city and indicate to us what we need as it relates to our equipment, as it relates to the positions, as it relates to the qualifications for those positions, even suggestions as it relates to the governmental structure. I don't trust anybody in this state to deal with that. That's why I want unbiased eyes. Now, how long that's going to take? Anybody that gives you a date, they may want to sell you a bridge as well. I will tell you that if we're going to do it, we have to do it incrementally. Yes, our system is over 100 years old, so you can't just replace a 100-year-old system in a year or two. It just can't be done. It has to be done incrementally, and you have to, so obviously the funding for it is going to have to be done incrementally as well. We can probably start off by the sales tax collection, which everybody indicates has been insufficient.
Mr. McNaris, thank you once again.